Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in Klal, the fourth chapter of CHOFETZ CHAIM, and he says the following. This is talking about if you see someone do something wrong, and you want to give him teichacha, you want to rebuke him, but as the CHOFETZ CHAIM is going to inform us, if you know pretty certainly that he's not going to accept your teichacha, your rebuke, then it's better sheva al taseh, not to do anything. Well, not anything, but we'll see how the CHOFETZ CHAIM says you should approach it. If let's call him Ruvain sees, he sees the sinner Shimon is one of those very corrupt people who is going to scoff at him if he ends up rebuking him, and he's not going to pay any attention. Like it says, Al teichach leitz pen isna eka. The pasuk says in Mishlei that a person should not rebuke a scoffer lest he'll come to hate you. The Shimon over here, who is the sinner, certainly is not going to accept what you have to say. Now, if that's the case, he's not going to listen anyway. You have no mitzvah of teichacha. It's only going to make things worse, as we shall see. People like this, it's very easy for them to repeat their sins. Very likely that Shimon, the sinner over here, is going to once again stumble into sin. Therefore, if you see him sin, don't talk to him, because he's not going to pay any attention to you. So you should go to the Dayana, go to the judges of the city, and explain to them what you saw. The judges will be the ones that will reprimand him for the mistakes and the sinful things that he has done. And in Yetz Hashem, they'll be able to separate him from committing this transgression in the future. And it would seem, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, even to go to the relatives of the chayt, of the person who's sitting over here, you could go to them. If you think that by telling the relatives will give teichacha to their relative over here, Shimon, and he's going to listen to them, he respects them, it's a babi, a zayda, it's an uncle that he really respects, it's a brother, an older brother that he really looks up to, so on and so forth. So then yes, you can go and you can tell the relatives, because they're going to have a chance of helping him to do tshuva and to repent. He's not going to listen to. But his baba, the zayda, that he will listen to. So that's again, im divreihem yu miskablim loy. That's if you think that he's going to listen to their words. V'ayim Ber Mayim Chaim, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM. Take a look in the commentary in the Ber Mayim Chaim, where he explains over there that you have to be very careful, because sometimes relatives will refuse to believe what you're telling them, and it could end up making things that much worse, because they're going to end up getting upset with you. How dare you say such a thing about my brother, my grandson, my cousin, like that. So you have to make sure that you're talking to the right person when you're going to reveal this information. Now, when you are permitted to go and tell over the actions of sin that you saw this person do, whether it's to the judges or it's to a relative, your intention must be completely l'shem shemayim, for the sake of heaven. Ubekinas Hashem, you're doing it because you want to bring honor to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Loi b'sinasai loi al davar acher, and not because you have hatred of this sinner because of some other things you've seen him do, or this thing over here. So too, when the judges will take the matter into their hands, they can only rebuke Shimon, the one who sinned. They can do it b'atznei, they can do it discreetly, in a private manner. They cannot embarrass him publicly. Like it says, certainly you should rebuke your friend when you see him doing the wrong thing. But do not bear iniquity or sin as a result of your teichacha, the rebuke. How would you bear the iniquity? That is, if you end up doing it in a public manner and you shame and you embarrass him, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, you just caught yourself in a bad place. You're trying to be a tzaddik over here and help this person separate from sin, but in the end of the day, you ended up shaming and embarrassing him. That itself is a chait, and therefore you would not be allowed to rebuke him in such a manner. So clearly the CHOFETZ CHAIM is saying that if you think that the person is not going to listen to you, don't even bother. It only makes things worse. But you can go to the dayani, the judges of the city. You can go to a family member that you know that he respects and he will listen to. And in that way, Im Yetz Hashem, a person will be able to hear the mistakes that he's making and rectify his ways. Have a wonderful day.